Welcome, everyone. Sometimes we worry back there. All right. Welcome,
I'm a
everybody.
little late, but I'm here.
Yes.
I'm usually the one that's late.
I swear, one of
So,
these days, I'm going to like teleport right across this thing.
I had
Welcome,
my
everyone.
environmental volume on 0, so I didn't hear the
Okay.
gong.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to the news and updates. This is episode 221.
for nearly 5 years, you've come here to learn about the news from in and around the AltSpace VR community. And we will continue to bring you that news right up until AltSpace's closing.
Tonight, we're going to repeat some of the core information you need to know about the closure to help you through the transition and emotions about losing our beloved AltSpace VR. Why does it say tonight?
Okay, today, now, in this
Oh,
moment.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it is tonight for some people.
There, now
So-
it's now. Yeah, it's night for some, not for others. Now we are. Okay.
Now,
Okay, so we're also going to look forward and focus on migrating our communities and events to the various other platforms.
You know, today is today. It doesn't say what time of day it is. Today is a day. So anyway,
it's
we
5
are
o'clock
not,
somewhere.
doesn't matter. Yeah. We are not AltSpace VR or Microsoft employees. We're volunteers who stupidly have been working diligently.
Oh,
Since,
this is going to be
we
one of
love
those
this. I can
days,
tell already.
evenings.
All right, since 2018 to provide the news and sometimes the rumors you need to know to explore and enjoy AltSpace VR and the metaverse beyond.
This event is being filmed, and you will find it in our news and updates YouTube and Twitch after the show. I'm so glad we've got all those memories filmed.
Me too. And thank you all for being such a special part of the AltSpace community, our community here in AltSpace VR and beyond.
hmm Now, here is a brief list of the things you need to know about the closure of AltSpace VR.
Okay. AltSpace VR is closing March 10th, as we all know. The official news was released a week ago on the website via email and social media. Microsoft has stated clearly that it is a fixed date.
We do not know exactly when on March 10th. So many people are considering March 9th as the last date to enjoy the comforts of our beautiful utopian virtual homes and events.
There will be many special events prior to the closing. We hope you will be hosting one supporting your tribe or community as well. We all need a chance to say goodbye.
While there are many who are starting campaigns to encourage Microsoft to keep AltSpace VR from closing, it is unlikely to sway. Microsoft says it will take millions of dollars of intense re-engineering labor to fix AltSpace VR and bring it into modern compliance.
It is highly unlikely there will be a last minute rescue for those living in hope of someone sweeping in at the last minute to buy AltSpace VR. We've been informed by its staff that there is nothing to buy. They cannot sell infrastructure that is not compliance.
But you never know. Things change from one day to the next all the time in the metaverse and tech worlds. And we, as AltSpacers, are making our presence known everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Now, what to do? Due to the limitations from the Oculus Store and others, AltSpace VR could not update their VR version. To handle the next steps, you will need a computer, though we have some fancy program from Agent I won't say that may help those with only phones.
To preserve your history with AllSpace VR, they've updated their data download page on your profile in the altvr.com website. Go to the My Data page on your profile and click on the Download All My Data.
When complete, you'll be sent an email to the email address you used to sign in with AltSpace VR to download the zip file with information and links in CSV files for Google Sheets or Excel. The link is only good for 24 hours, so keep checking your email.
If you haven't already, download and install the latest updated version of the 2D desktop version of AltSpace VR for Windows and Mac. You'll know it is updated when you see the big notification of AltSpace VR closing.
After updating the 2D AltSpace VR client, enter AltSpace VR in the 2D version. In the main menu, go to Me, and you will see the Download Photos button in the upper right corner. The photographs download to the computer's desktop. Download it and put it in a safe folder. And don't hide it in your PC like I lose mine.
Okay. For those without a computer, the My Data download CSV file for photos contains a link to each image on the AltSpace VR CDN to allow you to download them individually. Now, please make sure you have room on your phone, as many of us have many photographs. Once on your phone, you can upload them to a cloud service.
Ancient I Won't Say is offering a simple script for those who understand some basic coding on their Linux, Mac, and Android phones. We've shared the script details in our AltSpace VR news channel in our News and Updates Discord server.
Thank you,
Very
Agent.
nice, Ancient. Thank you.
Yay.
AltSpace VR is also providing download access to your world building kits, templates, skyboxes, and other uploaded Unity assets and artifacts. Mark and Dargon have posted tools to help make this process easier. Thank you,
If
Mark
you
and
up-
Dargon.
Yes, thank you very much. If you uploaded models as GLTF and GLB files, you should still have the originals. If not, you'll need to download those manually via the website. Be sure and check those tools out on our News and Updates Discord.
Now, sadly, you may only download the virtual content that belongs to you. Worlds created with AltSpace VR and shared kits are not able to be exported, as they are not your intellectual property, or the intellectual property of the person who built the world. Okay. They aren't yours. So photograph them, film them, and cherish those memories.
And know also that many world asset builders with Patreon and subscription services offer their products and services for other platforms, as well as making them available by uploading them to the Unity Asset Store, DG Trader, TurboSquid, and other Unity asset and artifact stores for free or for a fee. Their 3D craftings really do make world building easier.
Now, the popular VR education course and company, Universe, used to be Try Universe, is offering a special workshop in AltSpace VR to introduce you to what you need to know to migrate your world into VR chat, which may apply to other platforms as well. Spatial and other platforms are doing the same. So watch this space for detail, and do check the AltSpace VR Discord as well. All right.
Those are the basics you need to know. You'll always find more information in our Discord. Don't lose us in Discord.
Okay, let's now talk about platforms and community migration, starting with community, which should be a priority in all of our lives.
We think of AltSpace VR as a village, and we are members of the village family. There's some incest going on here. I just know it. There are the haves and the have-nots, and the jocks and the cheerleaders and the politicians and the philanthropists and the bridge players and the bowling teams and the caretaker and the nerds and the educators and all the other groups of people that make up a community and turn it into a larger communal family.
We have similar groups in the village of AltSpace VR. Some of us are called tribes. Tribal. Cool. I like
Mhm.
that.
You done? Are you ready?
Okay,
Marsha?
we have similar groups in the village of AltSpace VR that we will be
Okay.
moving on to new addresses. Most of you are members of one or more of these groups or tribes, right? Let's
Right.
see a
And
show of emojis.
yeah, no, everybody is. Yes, please shoot up
Yes.
your emojis also, because room 2 is open and there's a bunch of people in there. And so let's say hello to all of them and those in the room too. Please say hi to everybody in room 1. God, I love this. Yay. Now, please, see, we are a family. We are all together in this. Check in with your groups, your families, your tribes for their plans and move with them. You might not like the new neighborhood, but trust me, a healthy community changes their environment for better. And one thing we know for sure, AltSpace users will do the same. They already are making the metaverse a better place, and wherever AltSpace users go, it will improve because we is family.
That's right. Very well said, Laurel. And you know what? They're not going away. The groups are not going away. To quote Marcia, they're just changing addresses. Most of them already have their own community discords, Facebook groups, and many already have a presence on other platforms. You will still be a family. We all will, each in our own way. Nothing is changing about the relationships we've built over the years, right?
Absolutely right. Yeah. Now, as mentioned, many groups have had long presence on other platforms. Some are still researching. Each group has different needs. We can't cover all of the different platforms that are out there. There are dozens and dozens of them, but we're going to cover the most popular and appropriate for AltSpace VR users.
For today, Educators in VR has published a lengthy article with a variety of criteria to consider when choosing a new home in VR, as well as tutorials and tips and to help you migrate your community and worlds to various platforms. We will just try to sum it up right here.
According to educators in VR's expertise, and they have a lot of it, the criteria for considering a social VR platform in the metaverse includes a safe, healthy, diverse, and welcoming community. That is a good sign.
Mm-hmm. It must have strong accessibility features to accommodate that diverse population with support for hearing and visually impaired, as well as other physical disabilities, but also support a wide range of headsets and devices. Engage XR supports the widest range with including PCs, Mac, iOS, and Android devices. You can get in on your phone and your tablet in 2D, as well as most of the 3D headsets, including Pico and Valve and HTC and all the rest.
If you're hosting events, workshops, classes, etc., you need strong event hosting and moderation features, especially if those events are public. You want to make sure the experience is safe and comfortable for participants.
Interactables are a must, as are abilities to customize, build, and import Unity worlds, templates, kits, etc. The language of world building will change as there aren't any current standards. And the techniques will be very different, often relying on what are called instances like VR chat or sessions, rather than the persistent worlds or events we've come to know in AltSpace.
Most of all, consider the cost. Even if a platform is free, you may have to pay for event hosting and other features. You may have to pay for world or object building privileges, and even for the virtual land on which to build.
And consider the platform's payment system and economy. Some use payment systems that can embrace multiple countries and banks, but others are more restrictive. Remember, we're a worldwide community. Some support crypto or their own virtual currency. And up all the costs, expected and unexpected, to make sure you can afford the platform or find the funding to support your projects there.
That's right, Karen. That's right. We've been having some major conversations about that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we get to information on specific platforms, please be aware that the AltSpace VR Discord and other popular related Discords are being bombarded with pitches and promotions of VR platforms. Some are thriving, some are not so ready yet, but hopeful, and others are scams. Unfortunately, there are also trolls stirring up explicit here. Ding, beat me out, shit. And they're just stirring it up because they can.
Yeah,
Mhm,
we're going to be living with trolls for the rest of our lives,
mhm.
I think. But anyway, so do your research, ask around, move your communities and worlds to platforms that you know and trust. Yes, the other platforms you've never heard of may thrive and become successful in time, but right now, few of us have the time to wait on them. Be smart.
Now, the platforms that are the most popular, stable, and have a history are Engage XR, Spatial, VR Chat, Mozilla Hubs, Frame VR, and Rec Room. There are many others, but let's focus on these because these are the ones that are most familiar to AltSpace VR users.
Without going into too much depth, Spatial is doing an amazing job on marketing to AltSpace VR and other VR users. The platform was developed for businesses and business meetings and has expanded to reach a wider audience.
It's an excellent platform for 2D users, and it recently updated its VR headset support and promises even more improvements. They're offering migration workshops to help AltSpace VR users. Their community is still evolving, but remember, you are bringing your own community with you.
Engage XR is where educators in VR has had a base since the beginning of 2019. And it is an exciting platform for business and corporate clients, educational institutions, teachers, and professionals. They recently opened up a public commons area.
It supports the most diverse range of access devices, and it has a very powerful interactive and world building SDK that plugs right into Unity. It also features spatial recordings, 360 video, and some of the most advanced interactables and event tools and features of all of the platforms, save AltSpace.
Mm. Many in the alt space community are moving to Engage to continue their professional events, meetups, workshops, and classes.
VR chat is where many AltSpace VR users already have a presence. The new group feature will help those put off or downright terrified by its raucous public areas. It will help bring people together to safe spaces and activities with their own group members. It is a paid subscription, but only the group leader pays. Members can get in free. And I know that both Lance and Daisy have groups in VR chat, so you guys can reach out to them.
VR chat has a long history of one of the most wild, wild west experiences for world builders, which means anything goes and often does. while while headset performance is tested, be aware that the freedom to do what you will means there are often, if any, security or privacy protections.
If you wish to add a world to VR chat, you must be on the platform for 20 to 40 hours in a free account or pay for a VR chat plus account. It's a security protection. Know what you're doing. It's a great platform, but don't go it alone.
Mm-mm. Know what you're doing. I got to practice that one. Mozilla Hubs has been around for ages and it continues to grow. It is lovely as it is browser based, which opens up accessibility in very exciting ways. While it has a relatively small platform community, there are many groups, teachers, even hosts, and businesses loyal to the hubs.
If you want to get into WebXR or OpenXR, this is the time and the platform. Their new groups feature for events and their new tiered payment plans make it an affordable choice for advanced features while still keeping it free for everyone else.
Frame VR is evolving as another browser based platform. It is fairly easy to build there. It has some amazing features. It supports individuals, businesses, schools, and even theater companies. But like most of these platforms, those features are limited for free users.
They call their worlds frames. Higher payment tiers allow for more attendees. Free users are limited to having 3 frames with up to 10 audience members in each frame. The rest can only watch but not participate from the lobby of an event or frame. Kurt is an expert in using frames. He's been using frames for 2 or 3 years, and brought he's brought models into it. So if you have any
Mhm.
questions, see Kurt after the event.
Uh-oh, Kurt, we should have warned you.
Bombard.
Sorry. Didn't know that was coming. All right. Sorry about that. There he is. Yep. Yeah, educators in VR and their theater team, bunch of other teams have been using frames for a long time, and it's really fun, but there are some great limits there. And you have to know the limits as well. Now, Rec Room has long been a favorite place for AltSpace VR users, and the platform has been improving with their new Rec Room Studio creator tools with better controls, with much better improved controls over underage users. They also announced some updates this past week. Their avatars will be full body, incorporating hand and body tracking that will take advantage of what is available in the newest headsets.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. Rec Room is gaining ground as a major player for schools and businesses beyond their well-recognized children and youth audience. AT&T, Mattel, the NBA, and many other companies have long had a presence there.
Now, these are the most familiar platforms to AltSpace VR users, trusted platforms to migrate to. If you're an event host and producer, be aware that most of these platforms do not have the large audience size nor event production tools of AltSpace VR.
Again, be aware of the wannabes and scams out there pitching for your attention and money. Many are taking up oxygen in the AltSpace VR Discord, appearing to be legit and serious about their offerings. We worry that some may get caught up by these scams. Research, research, research. Go where you know and trust. Be safe out there.
As we end this news section to help you migrate off of AltSpace onto other platforms with your communities, remember, we are pioneers here. We've taken the photographs, we've filmed the events and all these amazing worlds, and to leave a record for those so that they'll know a very different reality from the one that exists now and in the future. We have so many stories to share about how we have helped to change this so-called real world and recreate it in the process of making our own unique corner of the metaverse. We are among the early adopters, you know?
Yes, we are. Educators in VR and News and Updates continues to work on our joint 8th anniversary AltSpace VR project to have the community answer the question of how AltSpace VR and social VR has changed your life. The next event is this Tuesday, so try and show up and share what AltSpace has meant to you.
Mhm. If you'd like
If
to
you
be
would
part
like,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I jumped ahead. I'm sorry. I'm so excited
that's
about that
okay. You want to say
project.
something?
No. I'm so excited about that project. Go for it.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
If you would like to be a part of the archival team, you know what I think? You know how you used to when you were in school and they had you write something or draw something, you put it in a capsule and then they bury it and hopefully it'll be opened up in 50 years or 20 years
Mhm.
or 100
The
years.
time capsule.
That's what I feel like, keeping all your memories and keep them in
Mhm.
a capsule so you'll always have them and your somebody else that comes behind you can find them and see them and say,
Mhm.
"Wow."
Yep.
So if
Love
you would
that.
like to be a part of the archival team, please let us know. We need filmers, film editors, photographers, and a support team to help preserve the legacy of AltSpace VR as a pioneering community in this metaverse.
Now, there is more going on in the metaverse than the closing Vault Space VR. Life goes on. Part of our job is to update you on the metaverse in general. And so here's a very, very brief summary of things that are happening outside of AltSpace VR.
Meta introduced hand tracking 2.0 last April, but few platforms and apps have embraced it. Much to our frustration, they are now making 2.0 the default hand tracking technology for all Oculus apps. We
Yay!
hope yeah, I'm still working on it. We hope apps will embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
Blender announced this week that development of the next version of their free model building app is on track for release very soon. They are making continued improvements and expansion of the geometry nodes, cycles, sculpt, curves, and animation. Oh, it's an exciting time to be a world builder.
Mhm.
It sure is. Some numbers on our headset sales have been coming in from various sources, and we'd like to share some of them with you.
Total shipments of standalone VR devices in 2022 were about 10.6 million, down from 13.6 million in 2021.
Quest 2 accounts for, I feel like I need a drum roll here, 80% of the market. No big surprise there. Valve, HEC, HP, and Pico rule the rest of the 20%.
Apple's on and off again. Oops, sorry, Marcia.
Apple's on
Everybody's
and off
looking at you,
again
Marcia.
headset continues to be on and off. I'm colorblind too.
Yeah.
But estimates are that they are planning on shipping less than 500,000 headsets the first year, a mere dip in the device pool.
Over the recent years, we've warned that Microsoft is discontinuing Windows 10 and moving users to Windows 11, especially as they prepare for the next release, Windows 12. It was announced this week that January 31st is the final day to buy Windows 10 versions. Support will continue on, but Windows 10 is near its end of life.
If you have not migrated, Windows 11 is still free. And there are tips all over the web to help you migrate for your own safety, security, and well being of your computer life. So might as well jump on board. Is the time.
Oh, not only am I losing my Windows 10, on top of everything else we're losing. I
Oh,
love Windows 10.
God, I hated it. I was so glad to see it gone.
Ah.
Yeah, buggy.
Well, I just got to know it. Now I got to learn another one. Oh, dear.
No, it's almost exactly the same, but better.
Okay, okay. I
No,
trust
almost
you.
no learning curve. Almost no learning curve. All right. Now on
Well,
to
here we
Mindy
are
Now comes
laughing,
our
but let's get
fun,
on to the fun stuff.
fun stuff.
While most of us aren't yet in a mood to laugh about all of this, although we're laughing right now, it is our job to help you cope. So we offer you just a couple of oddball bits of news as a distraction.
First is news that on the 100th anniversary of the inception of the Walt Disney Company, that the image of Walt Disney will be printed on U.S. currency through June of 2024.
Wow, I want that one.
Yeah, me too.
Disney's face will be on the $100 bill, temporarily replacing Benjamin Franklin. This isn't the first time Disney has been represented on currency. Disney dollars have also been around for a long time to use on Disney properties. So save your pennies, a lot of pennies. If you have any pennies, a lot of people toss their pennies to get your own Disney Benjamin.
Got to need a lot of pennies. Den-
Pick them up on the ground every time you see
Yeah.
one.
Denmark-based CGI artist Moonshake 3D has created a stereoscopic display system VR headset as a concept model to represent what a VR headset might have looked like if it was invented before Y2K. Isn't that thing? It's kind of sexy and
Wow.
weird looking.
I like the color. The color is
I do
kind of
too.
cool.
I love
Is
the
it
color.
wood?
Yes.
Yeah. Using a Raspberry Pi chip to power the prototype, he classifies it as a 3D 64-bit gaming headset, which sounds good, but it's only for older 64-bit VR games and apps that can be powered by Raspberry Pi chips.
Now, don't worry. It's unlikely this will ever be marketable. It's a thought experiment that includes plywood, and odds and ends. But what a fun experiment. We
Yeah,
love it when
love it.
people literally think out of the box with VR hardware. So, anybody who loves Raspberry Pi, you can make yourself a VR headset.
Okay, we're
I
on
love
now
it.
to Altspace VR events. And I'm really sorry I missed that event on Thursday. So I need to look at the events myself and see what's upcoming because we still have time left here on VR on Altspace. Anyway, so we don't have time to go into all the hundreds of events in Altspace coming up this week. Many are continuing as usual, much like we are, until closer to the end. Some are paying tribute with one or more goodbye events. Check the main events and the all events calendars to find the events that are relevant to you to help you process the closing and meet up with new and old friends.
Longtime AltSpace VR members who haven't come into AltSpace for a while are coming back to meet up with friends to say their last goodbye. I ran into about 15 yesterday that I've known 35 months. Wow.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome.
So it's wonderful to see these avatar faces and catch up. I mean, it was thrilling.
Yeah, and I see Serenity's out. Well, she was out there. I love Serenity has come back in, so I
Yes.
love that. I love that. Today, right after the news, you don't know. You have no idea how exciting and special this is. We are all going to see Yunjiverse. This is a special live musical performance like you've never seen by our beloved Yunji.
For those unfamiliar with Yoonji or only know her from time working as part of the Altspace VR support and events team, she is one of the pioneering original singers and composers in the metaverse. She started in college performing in Second Life and other early social VR and metaverse platforms, and she's been performing in Altspace VR since it opened in 2016.
She is back for an amazing performance as part of the Reburn Festival with new songs and old songs and cover songs. Yunji is part of the fabric of our AltSpace VR community, and we're so thrilled to have her back.
Revelers at the Reburn 23 danced the night away during the virtual Burning Man's farewell at the award-winning Sinisteria VR World last night, and it continues through the weekend with more special events. After the show tonight will also be their last virtual Burning of the Man in Altspace.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah, Videogasm, part of the Burning Man group, is hosting a special Rocky Horror pre-party later after the show, inviting attendees to dress up like their favorite characters from the film. We're not sure if they're supplying the virtual toast and other goodies, but let's hope so. Toast!
Yay, for sure. Tomorrow there were going to be, let's see, tomorrow there are two more special Burner and BRC VR events. First is the special Videogasm event with Athena, founder of BRC VR, discussing the past, present, and future of the company and their metaverse projects. We love Burning Man. We love that it was right here in Altspace. Absolutely love
Yes.
it.
Yep. Then Altspace VR founder Gavin White will present Systems and Stories, a moment of reflection on Altspace VR. The temple burn will follow, then the traditional closing ceremony, leaving no trace. Burning Man has changed Altspace VR in so many ways. The development team of builders pushed the limits of world building, and their event production team have brought in so many amazing events and programs.
As mentioned, give it up, give some hearts up for that, because we've all seen the Burning Man. They are an incredible group of people. Incredible. I
You
mean,
know
just
what?
look at Ice Whiz.
They changed us, but we changed them too.
Yes.
It was a
indeed.
symbiotic mutual relationship.
Yes.
Mhm.
So as mentioned, we don't have time to go into all the events happening this week. So do check them out on event pages in the Altspace VR website or in World, or be sure to mark RSVP or interested on the events you wish to attend. You know, that's how they plan how many rooms to have, because there's going to be tons of people. So make sure you click those RSVP or interested on the events. Then, as a reminder, via email an hour before the event, that gives you time to, go to the bathroom and get your cup of coffee or beer or whatever you're drinking so you can enjoy it.
Oh my goodness. I love working with you too. You make me crazy, and I
Likewise.
respect that. Okay.
Likewise.
Uh, as mentioned, I laugh more in this show than should be legal. I hope y'all do too. Okay, as mentioned, we will
Oh,
be
Laurel.
talking. Yeah,
Well,
yes.
last week we were crying. This week we're laughing. So
we're
that's
half
good.
laughing. We're half
Yeah.
laughing, and that's okay too. You know, honestly, people keep asking how you're doing, and I say it's schizophrenic because one moment I'm in tears, the next moment I'm laughing my ass off, and the next moment I'm just kind of like dead. Is everybody
Mhm.
else feeling that way too? It's just kind of roller coaster around in circles, and you know, it's just part of dealing with all of this. So now it's your time to talk about all of this. It is your time to talk about the changes we're all facing and how the communities can and will continue to thrive. And we're going to do it right here. We're going to have this chat right here.
You know, I told you earlier, and I'll tell everybody here, I feel like a record player, the old record players and the record spinning, and the arm is
Mm-hmm.
broke, and the arm's going back
Mm-hmm.
and forth, touching down, touching up. Nope, don't want to go there. Oops, gotta go over here.
Yep.
Nope, that's not the one I want to hear. And the arm is just going back and forth, and it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, it'll calm down soon.
So I've talked, and I'm sure more of us up here will talk, but we want to hear you talk. It is your turn to talk to us. Help us understand where you are, how you are feeling, what you're doing, maybe where you are planning to go. Maybe you know, how you're going to get there, and who maybe invite us to go along with you, you know, whatever. It's your turn.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and we want to know your stories. How has AltSpace VR changed your life? How it motivated you, inspired you, and what lessons you've learned that you'll take with you to a new platform. It's your turn now. The hand raise button is turned on, and we're ready to hand you the mic. I think that's a heavy burden we just put on them, so I think they have to process it a bit. I know I would.
Hit that raise hand button, and we really want to hear from you. Where are you going? What's going on? All right, there we go, Karen.
Okay, so we have Chap for Green, and Chap for Green, you're on megaphone.
Okay. Um, I was just hoping that AltSpace might release our avatars so we can use them in other platforms if they'd make a way to download them. That would be great. There is
Um,
ways of doing it, but
no, they've said no to that. I'm sorry, because they are copyrighted and they're also kind of trademarked, and they are being used in Microsoft Mesh and Microsoft Teams. So they're part of the intellectual property of AltSpace and Microsoft.
so they're going to be using my avatar.
Well, not yours. Yours is customized to look like you, what you want it.
Yeah.
But the avatar functionality and everything is there. But there's Ready Player Me. There's all kinds of different things out there that you can recreate your own in your own way to match the platform. You know, the avatars that are on the platform. But these are trademark and copyrighted. They're intellectual property.
All right.
Yeah, the technology that created our wackadoodle eyeballs, the blinking and the uncanny
Kevin.
valley looks and things, that's proprietary coding and stuff as well. So there's a lot of work that went into these avatars to make them compliant with a whole bunch of other things. But that's all that is owned by intellectual property of AltSpace. I mean, of AltSpace and Microsoft. Microsoft is the parent. Sorry.
Oh. Okay, thanks, Chap for Green. And I'm up next. I just wanted to add a little bit about avatars. So last night I was talking to a few friends here in AltSpace VR, and we were talking about how we are tied to our identities here. And I think that's why so many people are grieving the loss of their avatars. But you know what, you guys? You all need to go to Ready Player Me and take a selfie or upload a photo, and the avatars, they're really very realistic, that full body avatars, and they're wonderful, and so many different platforms are using those avatars. So hopefully as we jump from one platform to another in the metaverse, we'll be able to take that our avatar with us. So certainly check that out. But it is a loss because we're feeling we lose our identity. I mean, I'm looking at everybody out here, and I know everybody by their avatar. That's the identity. So that's the loss that we're feeling.
I love looking across the room and you know exactly who you're looking at.
And it will
That's the
continue
part
on
I'm
the
going
other
to miss the
platforms.
most. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Other thoughts, other comments.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. How are you feeling?
And
What
where
are
are
you
you
doing?
going? And what are you doing?
Okay, here we have. I can't pronounce the name Zotek. Zotek. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, and you're on megaphone.
It's
Zotek.
Exotic. Okay.
Yes. I just wanted to say that I'm new to this platform. I probably about like a week out, and
It's
so
all right.
far everybody I've met in here has been pretty incredible, and I'm very impressed by all the different worlds people have shown me, and so kind of sad because now I don't know what to do.
It's too bad
Fo-
you met us during our saddest week.
Yes,
yeah,
everybody's been wonderful.
follow us. If there's, we still have what 5-6 weeks. Find, you have time to get to know people, to jump into some of the different events and the topics and things like that. Introduce yourself. Find out where they're going, and follow. And as we mentioned, there's a variety of platforms that have beautiful communities, and Allspace is going to take their communities there. They're already thriving in many of those communities. We're going to keep going. We family. But
Mhm.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you were here because, trust me, 20 years from now, you'll say, yeah, I was on Altspace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been for
this
only
is-
a week, but that's part of the story.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you, and
Thank
glad
you.
you're here.
Thank you, Zotek. Yes. Yes.
How about the rest of you? Charlie, what are you going to do? Where are you going to nap? I love Charlie. Charlie comes in many events and falls asleep. Come on, Charlie.
There we go. Okay, Charlie, you are on air.
Love you.
I've already
Hey,
got.
sweetheart.
I've started. Can you hear me? All right.
Yes.
Yes.
I've got the gallery in spatial or spatial, whatever you pronounce it,
Mhm.
and I found out that I could put open brush sculptures straight in with no Unity. That's
Nice.
quite exciting. Quite interesting. That
Yes.
I'm obviously in
Wow.
VR chat, still learning that. I've got a few friends in there that show me the ropes. I'm not happy to pay for anything though. I'm tight and skint. So I'm hoping I hope I can settle somewhere where it's free. And that's going to happen.
All right. Great. Well, I know Spatial's going to love you. We love you, and it gives me great
Thank you.
comfort. Come into so many of our events, and then you're kind of, your head will just start to drop down. And then if you're muted, we won't hear you. If you're unmuted, we'll start to hear a little bit of those. It's beautiful.
It's 11:45 for me at night.
I
You know,
know.
it's past.
I know, but I love it. It's like my little comfort. Yep, there. And I can't tell you, I've told my team many times, there's Charlie over there snoozing, and it's like I love it. it's just the same thing. It's so weird.
I can still hear it. I can still
I
follow
know.
it and hear it. It's
Yeah, you
unconscious.
just
That's
in
all.
your sleep. Yeah, it's beautiful. We love it. Thank you, Charlie. When I look around this room, I see so many amazing people that oh, that I know so well, and I haven't met most of you in person. 99.9% of you have not met in person, and yet I adore you, and you all mean so much to me. I know that the rest of us, we all feel that way, and that's not going away. But what I want to say is that you all have been these amazing. Okay, this is going to sound. It sounds better in my head, but I'm going to do my best. Okay. Your characters in the play of my life, and that's a good thing. I was raised by my mom to believe, this is her way of handling every stressful situation, was well, there's another chapter in the book of our life. And so I kind of got this kind of looking at everyone around me as a potential character. And you all have brought such magic, such color, such laughter, such tears and joy just through the knowing. And I had a wonderful, out of nowhere, Yunji and Schmittek, Schmittek, as most of you know, some of you may know, the old timers know, came into an event yesterday, surprised the heck out of us, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And we started sharing old stories and funny stuff. And we're going to be doing that on some of the shows coming up. We want to hear your story. We want to hear the crazy things, the weird things. Mark and I will never forget having somebody come in to visit a world and that he'd forgotten to put the floor in, and the person fell through the world while they were trying to get into it. We just watched them go whoop, 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 over and over again.
I've done
We
that.
live for those stories. So if you're a world builder, you get it, which is a prime time for me to actually share. We only have time for one more question, but
Okay,
I want to share really quickly before we get to the question. I want to
Okay.
share this hysterical quote that Steph said. We love, we all love Steph. She's amazing. But this is something that only the people in this room will understand. She said, only in VR can you literally fall asleep standing up while sitting down.
I have a little experience just from that. I was with IceWiz last night, and we were in a world that he didn't build, Luminosity built, but we were in it, and all of a sudden, three of us are talking. We hear this snoring in the background. We go, "That's Ice," and we couldn't find him. We were looking all over for him, but here was the snoring, and he was on. The whole universe could hear it. So
I love it. I love it. Okay, I think we only have time for one more. Karen, pick a good person. Good
All
one.
right,
Pick a good
I
one.
accidentally dismissed
They're all good.
Leslie because well, I guess somebody hit her at the same time. So Leslie, you're on megaphone.
Hi guys. I really don't know what to feel. I mean, I've grown in old space, I feel. I've come a long way. I got to fly where you can't fly anywhere else. My friends here mean a lot to me. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm still trying to, I still don't think it's real. I still think somebody's going to dive in there and save it. But I mean, I've learned to do so much, and I've seen so many amazing, cool things in alt space, and people have made some amazing worlds like Darren and Lance and Kurt. I mean, it's just been amazing. It's been nice, but I know people say when one door closes, another one opens. But I want this one to stay open.
we hear you. We hear you. We
So
hear
what
you,
are you
Leslie.
what are you gonna do, Laurel and Marsha and Karen, when alt space closes?
We've already said. So Educators in VR is going to be on Engage XR. We'll be on. We support over 20 different virtual platforms, VR platforms, not virtual but VR. So we'll be all over as usual, and we'll be announcing the news and updates soon about where it's going and what's happening. And Marsha, have you picked a place?
Nope, I haven't landed yet. That's interesting, Faye, what you said. I used to have my favorite dreams that I have at night were about flying. I look forward to going to bed and just thinking about flying, and then I would dream about it at night. And I loved that. And when I finally found Alt Space VR and I could fly, honey, I soared. I fell in love with this. I could fly mentally, physically, unphysically, virtually, reality. I was flying, and that's what alt space has meant to me. And it's just a beautiful thing. And I still want to fly. And now I got to find a lot of other little worlds, but I better be able to fly.
On Engage XR, you can fly on a dolphin. You can fly on a whale. You can fly on a helicopter. You can. It's
I
pretty
flew
cool.
on a rocket there one time. With Nick
yeah.
and...
There you go.
But it wasn't the same.
And you know what? I haven't picked a platform. I'm going to be on many platforms. I'm just going to make sure my friends are with me.
Amen.
Yeah.
I'm in favor of that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
so
why we
that is-
stay in touch in Discord so we can tell
You got
somebody
it.
where we're going to be, and please join us and meet us over there, and give them a date and time. It's like planning an event in Discord.
Yes, indeed.
Mhm.
All right, that is all for this week's news and updates. We invite you to join us to this special event in just a few minutes that is opening up with Ungiverse at the top of the hour. Honestly, this is an amazing special event held in one of the most beautiful and oldest worlds in AltSpace VR, filled with quotes from the AltSpace VR community set in rain and foggy mist in a world called Messages in the Mist.
Oh,
You
wow.
don't want to miss that. So we'll be heading there as soon as this is over.
Okay, thank you all for joining us here on News and Updates every Saturday. You'll find us here next week at the same time and throughout the remaining time we have here on this beautiful platform known as AltSpace VR.
We do this for you for free. Charlie, you don't have to pay anything. To help you be better informed, we are volunteers and community members, not AltSpace VR employees.
If you missed the show or you want to share it with friends, check out our live streams on YouTube and Twitch every week, or catch up with past episodes and find more about events, projects, news, and community activities in our News and Updates Discord.
Thank you all. Thank you all of our volunteers, moderators, script writers, and especially to our amazing producer, Mark. I'm giving you time to soak in the applause, Mark.
Mhm.
And you, all of you, and Laurel
We're not.
and Karen.
And you too, Marsha.
We couldn't
Yes,
do this
indeed.
show without you. Thank you.
We know this is a tough time for many, but it is also a time of hope. Good things are on the horizon, and we are here to share it with you. Stand tough, stand up, and most of all in these uncertain times, please be safe wherever you are in the world. We love you guys.
Yay!
Throw the hearts up. Throw the hearts up so the rooms can see it.
Yay, you go.
We love you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Marsha. Thank
you.
you, Karen. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, babes.
Don't forget
And let's get
Yanchi's
ready.
event. in
Genjiverse!
7 minutes.
Genjiverse is coming up. And I got to duck to it right away.